Just a quick disclaimer. This was done in one take. My life is busy now, so please bear with me. Editing and things like that cannot be as much of a priority as they once were. That said, time for some football!
Football!
Welcome back, Friend Group Fantasy Football. It's time for another Week 1... No, why would you let me know? A Week 2 Fantasy Football recap! Whop! 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 Fumble! He's matriculating the ball down the field. We start our recap on the campaign trail, where the white men for Kamala squared off against the dihydrogen monoxides. Things were looking great for the white boys. Shout out Chet Hanks, but there is serious trouble in paradise. Cooper Kupp was emerging as a cornerstone of the campaign, but some unsavory All Lives Matter tweets during the Ferguson riots of 2014 landed Kupp firmly on the wrong side of the injured reserve. This coupled with Christian fundamentalist McCaffrey Bible thumping his way off the team, sneaking onto the injured reserve as well once he was realizing whose wagon he was hitched to. The dihydrogen monoxides had reason to celebrate, popping bottles of Zach Charbonnet to the tune of 17.9 points. Joe me my money, Burrow. Show me my money! Burrow got super into this game, but he was left with no applause as the rest of the bench stared at him silently, having a solid day as well. Rashid, I'll come up with a bunch of nicknames for him at some point. Shahid also popped off for 20 points. Shout out Brian. The monoxides go marching. 119, Whiteman for Kamala 52. Some spread. We swim down to the deep blue sea where the Fighting Carps did battle against the newly named Lamar. You serious? The Carps were flopping for joy as they eclipsed the ever-elusive 100-point mark this week. With darn near half their points coming from DK and Amon-Ra, the Carps are pounding their chest towards the sun in an effort that hit 3 digis. Patrick Beverly would be proud. Oh, shoot. Well, to answer the question Reagan's team poses, the answer is yes, they are unequivocally serious. Carp has to hold a 180 burger this week as Reagan's team rolls on. Lamar 185, Carps 108. Whoop! Fumble! We move on to the halls of Tripoli, where the Navy SEALs host the odds-on favorite to win the Rookie of the Year, Judge Judy. Do note, Jerry Judy is no longer on Burroughs' team, and I think that name should be changed. The judge came out fighting, saying, "I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real." Smith-Njigba, as the sophomore receiver, had a 23-point outing. J.K. Dobbins-Thick could see perfectly through those blurred lines with his 20 points. This was all for naught, as the SEALs were ready for war. Fleetwood Pat Mahomes had a light day, but still connected with Rashee Rice for a tutty, and he was heard singing in the locker room after the game. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break your chain. As Devon Achane had almost 30 points in a Thursday night football loss. The judges had an astronomical amount of points scored against them so far this year, but we would expect nothing else from this league. It's a tough, dog-eat-dog world out there. Get your money up, not your funny up, Burrows. SEALs go marching 160. Judge Judy 123. Whoop! The Hudson Blue Hawks soared to new heights. Also, this one was done by ChatGPT. Sorry, I couldn't, there's so many games. The Hudson Blue Hawks soared high and mighty in their showdown against the Jersey Chasers. And let me tell ya, it was a game where the Blue Hawks just plain winged it to victory. They truly God-winned their way to triumph, with Chris Godwin putting up a dazzling 24.7 points. And who could forget Davante Adams? This man was on fire, racking up an impressive 26 points. Talk about Adams' Antium performance. This is so bad. Now the Jersey Chasers were no slouches either. Jahmyr Gibbs tried to lead his squad with a solid 17.8 points, and Jameson Williams was all about that action, Jacksoning up 14.4 points. But in the end, the Blue Hawks had too much fly for them to handle. So all you fans out there, remember, when the Blue Hawks come to town, it's no Gibbs and giggles, it's a full-on spectacle. Hawks 148, Chasers 101. Whoop! Our final stop before the Sunday service is a bout between the Zins and the turnovers. Whiteman for Kamala's biggest op took the field as C.J. Stroud boys ordered the team to stand back and stand by as a beatdown was in order. Brock Bowser was heating things up, but no one was quite as hot as James Cook, who was deep frying the Dolphins' D for 28 points. The turnovers are looking Butler bound, as their first overall draft pick Travis Kelce has accounted for all of 5 points this season. This week 1 matchup with The team formerly known as the Butt Farts versus the Turnovers might just be a toilet bowl preview. Zins go marching. 140. Turnovers 76. Whoop!
A reading from the Book of Football. When a league member asked football which of the rules was the greatest, he could have chosen any of the rules from the pre-AFL merger, from the Law of Lombardy, or from the many rules with what counts as a catch. Instead, football summarized all of the rules into these two. Thou shalt love the sport thy football with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind. This is the first and greatest rule of football. And the second is, like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Neighborhoods win a nail biter, 94. Chosen, 90.